Assalamu alaikum students. The topic which we discuss in today's session is kinetic model of matter, or the other name for this topic is kinetic molecular theory, or kinetic or particulate nature of matter, or kinetic molecular model, or kinetic theory of matter. So beta, this is the topic kinetic model of matter which we discuss in today's class. So students, first we need to discuss about the kinetic model of matter. So beta, kinetic model of matter describes only one thing. It describes the composition or the arrangement of the matter. Kinetic molecular model states that all matter is made up of tiny small particles called atom, and the tiny small particles are in continuous random motion. The tiny small particles present in the matter are continuously moving randomly, continuous are in continuous random motion, moving in all directions. So kinetic model of matter describes two things or propose two main ideas. First, the arrangement or the composition of the matter, and second, the motion of the particles present in the matter. So kinetic model states that the matter is made up of small indivisible tiny particles, and the particles are in continuous random motion. So beta, this is the thing described by kinetic model of matter. So on the basis of kinetic model of matter, the matter is divided into three main types, or the matter exists in three states: solid, liquid and gas. Now, how can we draw the solid? The diagram is visible to all of you on the screen. Solid is drawn in such a way that the particles are tightly packed or close to each other. And in the liquid, the particles have a slight space between them. But when we talk about the gas, so the particle in gases are far from each other. So when we discuss the arrangement of the particles in solid, liquid and gas, so in solid, particles are tightly packed with one another because of strong intermolecular forces present between the solid particles. These intermolecular forces, these strong intermolecular forces are responsible for holding particles in a close manner or in a close pattern. That's why the solids have rigid shape. इसीलिए ठोस होता है solid, because in solid the intermolecular forces are stronger, which hold the particles in a tightly packed manner, or the particles are arranged in fixed order. But when we talk about liquid, so the intermolecular forces in liquids are weaker than solid. So that's why the arrangement of the liquid particles is in disorderly manner, or in other words we can say that in liquid the particles are not tightly or closely packed with one another. But when we talk about the gases, so in gases, the intermolecular forces are very weak in comparison with solids and liquids. That's why in case of gases, the particles are very far apart from each other, and the intermolecular forces between the particle is very weak, which makes the particle to move in all direction randomly, and the kinetic energy of the particles, of the gases particles, are higher than solid and liquid. So better movement. In solid, the particles are tightly packed with strong intermolecular forces. That's why the particles are not able to move freely. And the particles in case of solid are just vibrating about their fixed position. That's why the solids have fixed volume and shape. But when we talk about liquid, so the particles of the liquid are move freely throughout the liquid. यानी जहां तक liquid होगा, particle liquid की surface के अंदर move कर सकते हैं. But liquid की surface से बाहर particle move नहीं कर सकते in case of liquids. So in case of liquids, the particles are move freely throughout the liquid. That's why the liquid have fixed volume but have no fixed shape. But when we talk about gases, so in case of gases, the particles are moving with higher speed, because in case of gases, the kinetic energy possessed by individual particle is higher than the particles present in solid and liquid. It means that the molecular motion in cases of gas are higher than the solid and liquid. So in case of gases, the particles are freely moving in all directions. पार्टिकल्स के दरमियान में कोई है कह ले कि ऐसी फोर्स नहीं है जो उन्हें होल्ड करके रखे. इसीलिए लिक्विड और सॉलिड के मुकाबले में गैसेस की काइनेटिक एनर्जी और मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन बहुत ज्यादा होता है. एंड दिस इज द रीजन which makes the gases particle to move freely or randomly in all direction. And that's why we can call that the gases have no fixed shape or no fixed volume. When we talk about the force of attraction, so the nature of force of attraction is very strong in case of solids, and strong but weaker in comparison with solid. Yani in liquid the force of attraction is weaker as compared to solids. But when we talk about gases, so the force of attraction is very weak between the gases particles in comparison with solid and liquid. So now students, let's discuss some properties. Solids have fixed shape, fixed volume. Why the solids have fixed shape and fixed volume? Because of because of stronger intermolecular forces present between the solid particle, which makes the particle or which holds the particle tightly in a closed manner. That's why the solids have fixed shape and the particles are just vibrating at their mean position. That's why the solid have fixed volume. And due to the closely packed arrangement of the particle, the solids have higher density and the solids are incompressible. And if you are supposed to compress the solid, then the solids deform. Solid deform ho jayega, toot jayega, because there is no little or vacant space present between the solid particle. कोई space ही नहीं होता है ना solid particle के दरमियान में. The solid particles are tightly packed with one another. That's why they are not compressible. They are incompressible. And if you force to compress the solid particles, then the solid deforms or changes its shape. But when we talk about liquids, so in case of liquids, there is no fixed shape because the particles are arranged in the liquid in such a way that the intermolecular forces are weaker between the liquid particles, and the liquid particles are not closely packed or are not in orderly manner. That's why the liquids have no fixed shape, but the liquids have fixed volume because the liquid particles are moving freely throughout the liquid, and the density of the liquid is also high. But and the liquid are also incompressible because there is a small little vacant space present between the liquid particles, which makes the liquid completely incompressible. That's why we uses the liquid in hydraulic systems, because of their incompressibility. But when we talk about gases, so the intermolecular forces between the gases particles are very weak, which makes the particle to move freely in all direction, to move freely and randomly in all direction. That's why the gases have no fixed shape, no fixed volume, and the gases have low density because the particles of gases are less denser than solid and liquid particles. And the gases are easily compressible because of the large vacant space, because of the large empty space present between the gases particles. So student, these are the properties of solids, liquid and gases on the basis of kinetic model of matter. Now we discuss about Brownian motion. So beta, the Brownian motion describes that the particles are too small to be seen by our naked eye. देखिए, हम जो particles है ना, students जो particles हैं, हम उन particles को अपनी naked eye से नहीं देख सकते. That's why we required some powerful microscope to see the particles of the matter. तो इसीलिए ब्राउनियन, रॉबर्ट ब्राउन एक साइंटिस्ट था जिसने क्या किया, जिसने पार्टिकल्स जो थे मैटर के अंदर मौजूद उन पार्टिकल्स के मोशन को स्टडी किया बाय द हेल्प ऑफ सम पावरफुल माइक्रोस्कोप. और फिर उसने हेल्प कह ले कि उसने पावरफुल माइक्रोस्कोप की हेल्प से पार्टिकल्स के मोशन को स्टडी करने के बाद क्लियर एविडेंस प्रोवाइड किया काइनेटिक मॉडल ऑफ मैटर का. अब रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने जो मोशन बताया पार्टिकल का, तो उस मोशन को हम फिजिक्स में ब्राउनियन मोशंस के नाम से जानते हैं, ब्राउनियन मोशन के नाम से जानते हैं. And the Brownian motion states that the tiny particles suspended in a matter, or the tiny particles suspended in a fluid. Fluid means smoke particles or air particles. So the tiny particles suspended in a fluids are in constant random motion. So beta, this is the point proposed by Brownian motion. The point is that the particles present or suspended in fluids like pollen grains in water, or smoke or air particles. So these particles present in air, smoke are in continuous or in constant random motion. So this is the idea presented by Robert Brown and known as Brownian motion. So Brownian motion कहता है कि पार्टिकल रैंडम मोशन में zigzag मोशन परफॉर्म कर रहे होते हैं पार्टिकल. जैसा कि आपको स्क्रीन पे नजर आ रहा है कि स्मोक पार्टिकल आप देखें कि एक टाइनी स्मोक पार्टिकल रैंडमली किसी भी डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है और zigzag मोशन परफॉर्म कर रहा है, यानी zigzag रैंडम मोशन परफॉर्म कर रहा है. So this is the motion known as Brownian motion. So Robert Brown designed a simple experiment, and the apparatus used by Robert Brown is shown on the screen. What the Robert Brown do? Robert Brown just take a glass cell, and on the above of the transparent glass plate, he placed a microscope, and the light source is used to enter the light in the glass cell. So बेटा ब्राउनियन मोशन में रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने किया क्या कि रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स जो थे उनकी बम्बार्टमेंट करवाई ऑन दी स्मोक पार्टिकल्स इन एयर और वाटर मॉलिक्यूल, यानी एयर और वाटर मॉलिक्यूल में जो स्मोक पार्टिकल मौजूद थे ना, he bombarded the air molecules on the smoke particles in air or water. जब उसने smoke particles की bombardment करवाई air और water, यानी air molecules जो थे air molecules के की bombardment करवाई on smoke particles in air और water, so फिर उसने observation क्या ली, रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने ये observe किया कि जब उसने लाइट सोर्स से लाइट को विजिबल लाइट फॉल करवाई ताकि ग्लास सेल के अंदर जो भी काम हो रहा हो वो माइक्रोस्कोप में विजिबल हो सके। रॉबर्ट ब्राउन तो माइक्रोस्कोप से देख रहा था ना, तो उसने जब अंदर लाइट इंटर करवाई ग्लास सेल के अंदर, सो द लाइट मेक्स द इंटरनल ऑफ द ग्लास सेल विजिबल टू दी रॉबर्ट ब्राउन, जो कि वो क्या कर रहा था, रॉबर्ट ब्राउन माइक्रोस्कोप के जरिए वॉच कर रहा था अंदर का सारा मामला, तो उसे क्या हुआ, विजिबल होने लगा कि ग्लास सेल के अंदर क्या चल रहा है। सो रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने ये देखा कि ब्राइट स्पॉट्स विच आर द स्मोक पार्टिकल, यानी ब्राइट स्पॉट्स जो कि स्मोक पार्टिकल्स थे वो क्या कर रहे थे, लाइट को रिफ्लेक्ट कर रहे थे, यानी लाइट जो है वो स्मोक पार्टिकल से टकराने के बाद रिफ्लेक्ट हो रही थी, आर सीन टू मूव एट कांस्टेंट रैंडम मोशन, यानी स्मोक पार्टिकल से टकराने के बाद लाइट जो है स्क्रीन पे जैसा आपको नजर आ रहा है कि जिगजैग रैंडम मैनर में लाइट मूव कर रही थी, बिल्कुल इसी तरीके से जिगजैग रैंडम मैनर में लाइट ने क्या कर दिया, मूव करना शुरू कर दिया। सो एक्सप्लेन क्या किया इसने, अब रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने एक्सप्लेनेशन ये दी कि उसने जो एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स बम्बार्ड करवाए थे ना, जब वो एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स स्मोक पार्टिकल से कोलाइड हुए, सो स्मोक पार्टिकल से कोलाइड होने के बाद वो एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन में डाइफ्रैक्ट हो गए या डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन में स्कैटर हो गए या डिफरेंट डायरेक्शन में मूव होना शुरू हो गए, और ये जो कोलिजन था ये अनइवन कोलिजन था, यानी ये कोलिजन इक्वली नहीं हो रहा था, ये अनइवन कोलिजन था। इस वजह से स्मोक पार्टिकल्स जो हैं वो एयर पार्टिकल्स के टकराते ही क्या कर गए, रैंडम मोशन में चले गए, यानी स्मोक पार्टिकल्स ने रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन परफॉर्म करना शुरू कर दिया when a air molecule is bombarded on the smoke particle. So conclude क्या किया रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने, the Robert Brown conclude that the air particles are moving at constant random motion at high speed. देखिए स्टूडेंट्स हुआ क्या कि रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने जब स्मोक पार्टिकल्स पर एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स को बम्बार्ड करवाया, सो ही क्लियरली ऑब्जर्व्स दैट the air molecules after striking the smoke particles gets scattered or start to move in different direction or changes its direction of motion and starts to move in random zigzag motion manner, यानी एयर पार्टिकल जब टकराए स्मोक पार्टिकल से तो रैंडम जिगजैग मैनर में क्या करना शुरू हो गए, एयर पार्टिकल्स मूव करना शुरू हो गए। सो उसने इस रैंडम जिगजैग मैनर को कहा कि एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स स्टार्ट्स टू मूव एट कांस्टेंट रैंडम मोशन एट हाई स्पीड्स, यानी कि आपके पास स्मोक पार्टिकल पे जैसे ही उसने बम्बार्ड किए एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स, तो एयर मॉलिक्यूल स्मोक पार्टिकल्स पे टकराने के बाद जिगजैग रैंडम मोशन में मूव करना हो गए शुरू स्टूडेंट्स, और जैसे ही वो जिगजैग रैंडम मोशन में मूव करना शुरू हुए पार्टिकल्स, सो इसका कह लें कि ये इस बात का एविडेंस था कि इन यानी कह लें कि द टाइनी पार्टिकल्स सस्पेंडेड इन अ फ्लूइड आर इन कांस्टेंट रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन। सो यहाँ पर रॉबर्ट ब्राउन ने एक एविडेंस प्रोवाइड कर दिया बाय यूजिंग एन एक्सपेरिमेंट के भाई आपके पास जो भी टाइनी पार्टिकल्स फ्लूइड्स वगैरह के अंदर सस्पेंडेड होते हैं, दोस टाइनी पार्टिकल्स आर इन कंटिन्यूअस कांस्टेंट रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन, एंड दिस कांस्टेंट रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन इज नोन एज ब्राउनियन मोशन। इस मोशन को ब्राउनियन मोशन का नाम दिया गया। Now students, there are some note which you need to remember. These 2 points are very important. The first point is that in order for the Brownian motion to be more observable, if you want the Brownian motion to be more observable, then the particles have to be small and light. यानी जो आप particle use कर रहे हैं, those particles should have to be small and light in weight. यानी particles का small और weight में हल्का होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि देखें इसी वजह से तो होगा कि जब आप कोई दूसरा पार्टिकल बम्बार्ड करेंगे और आप लाइटर और स्मॉल पार्टिकल जब बम्बार्ड करेंगे एक दूसरे पार्टिकल पे, तो टकराने के बाद वो लाइटर पार्टिकल क्या करेगा, रैंडम डायरेक्शन या कह लें कि रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन परफॉर्म करना शुरू करेगा, और आपके लिए आसानी होगी, आपको कह लें कि जब आप देखेंगे और मोशन को स्टडी करेंगे तो ये क्लियरली आपके लिए कह लें कि अंडरस्टैंडेबल और विजिबल होगा कि, और एक एविडेंस हो जाएगा प्रोवाइड के भाई जो पार्टिकल है, द पार्टिकल इज परफॉर्मिंग रैंडम जिगजैग मोशन। सो इसीलिए हम कहते हैं कि for Brownian motion, the particles have to be small and light. The second point is that when the temperature increases, so the molecular motion of the particles or the kinetic energy of the particle increases, which increases the molecular motion of the particles, and the particles starts to move more vigorously. So the air molecules at the higher temperature have greater speed and collide with smoke particles more vigorously and frequently. And this will make the smoke particles to move faster. And the smoke particles are supposed to change their direction more frequently. देखें, जब temperature high है, तो जो air molecules enter हो रहे हैं, those molecules have higher kinetic energy and also have higher molecular motion. And the air molecules with higher speeds strike or bombarded on the smoke particles and collide with the smoke particles more vigorously and frequently. यानी बहुत ज्यादा frequently और vigorously टकराएंगे एयर मॉलिक्यूल्स, जिनकी कह लें कि मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन बहुत हाई था, और मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन हाई होने की वजह से काइनेटिक एनर्जी भी बहुत ज्यादा थी एट हायर टेम्परेचर. सो जैसे ही वो स्मोक पार्टिकल से टकराएंगे, सो आफ्टर स्ट्राइकिंग द स्मोक पार्टिकल स्टार्ट्स टू मूव faster and changes its direction frequently when an air molecule makes collision with the smoke particle. तो collision के बाद smoke particle fastly move करना शुरू करेगा और अपनी डायरेक्शन को रैंडमली या फ्रीक्वेंटली चेंज करना शुरू कर देगा. सो आपने ये बात याद रखनी है, द ब्राउनियन मोशन इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द टेम्परेचर. इफ द टेम्परेचर इंक्रीजेस, then the constant random motion of the tiny particles are also increased, because there is a more frequent and vigorous collision between the two particles at higher temperature. So student, these are the two important points which you need to remember. Now the next topic is pressure in gases. So the very first question which arises is that how does a gas exert pressure on the wall of the container? Suppose you just have a container and you just enclosed some gases particles in the container. So what happened? We all know that the kinetic energy possessed by the gases particle are higher than solid and liquid. It means that the molecular motion of gases particle are higher than solid and liquid. So the gases particles are moving with higher molecular speeds in random directions. And when they are moving in random directions, they make collision with one another and with the wall of the container. And when they make collision with the wall of the container, so they apply some force on unit area of the wall of the container, and due to this the pressure exerts on the wall of the container. So this is how the pressure exerts due to the collision of gas particles inside the container with one another and with the wall of the container. Now students, we study some relations. The first relation is pressure volume relationship. So this relation is also known as Boyle's law, and this law or this relation states that for a fixed mass of a gas, the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume of a gas if the temperature of the gas remains constant. Students, there are three main properties which we considered while studying the motion or while studying the behavior of the matter. First is pressure, second volume, third temperature. And if you want to make relation between two quantities, then the third quantity needs to be constant. So in this case, there is a relation between pressure and volume, so that we need to make the temperature constant. So the statement is, for a fixed mass of a gas, the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume and the temperature of the gas remains constant. So it is clearly visible to all of you that pressure is inversely proportional to volume, and when we remove the sign of proportionality, there is a constant K. So the value is P is equal to K divided by V, and when we multiply V by P, so the equation will be product of pressure and volume is equal to K. So in other words, we can say that the product of pressure and volume is equal to constant according to Boyle's law. So student, we need to explain this relation by using kinetic model of matter. So remember the point that when the volume of the gas is decreased, it means that the particles present inside the cylinder or container comes closer to each other. And when the particles come closer to each other, so the collision of the particles with one another and with the wall of the container, the probability of collision of particles with one another and with the wall of the container increases. It means that more number of gas molecules strike or collide with one another and with the wall of the container when the volume decreases, or in other words, the particles come closer to each other. So the collision between the particles and the collision of particle with the wall of the container becomes more frequent and becomes more forceful. So it means that the pressure inside the container or cylinder increases because the number of collision of molecules or particles with one another and with the wall of container also increases. So as the volume of the gas decreases, so the pressure increases. So there is an inverse relation between pressure and volume, because if one quantity is decreasing, then the other quantity is increasing. So when you are supposed to plot a graph between pressure and volume, so in this case, the pressure is dependent quantity, so it is placed on y-axis, and the volume is independent quantity, so it is placed on x-axis, because pressure depends upon the volume. Pressure, change in pressure depends upon change in volume. If the volume increases or decreases, then pressure decreases or increases. So there is an inverse relation between pressure and volume, so the graph is a curve, because for inverse relation the graph produced is a curve. So when you draw a graph for between pressure and volume, so the graph is a curve. And when you are supposed to draw a graph between pressure and reciprocal of volume, so on the x-axis you just fill 1 over v. So 1 over v is the reciprocal of volume. So in other words, we can also say that pressure is directly proportional to the inverse of the volume. So when the pressure is directly proportional to the inverse of the volume, then the graph produced is a straight line. So from the above discussion, we can conclude that P1V1 is equal to P2V2, because students, the product of pressure and volume is equal to constant. So we just consider two states. First is the initial state and second is the final state. So the product of volume and the product of pressure and volume for initial state is equal to the product of pressure and volume for the final state. So according to Boyle's law, the equation for the calculation will be P1V1 is equal to P2V2. So P1 is the initial pressure, P2 is the final pressure, V1 is the initial volume, and V2 is the final volume. So this is the main formula which we use during our calculation. And the formula is P1V1 is equal to P2V2. Now students, the second relation is between pressure and temperature. So we all know that there is a relation between pressure and temperature, so the volume needs to be constant. So the statement is, for a given mass of a gas, the pressure is directly proportional to the temperature if the volume of the gas remains constant or kept constant. So beta, when the pressure and temperature becomes direct proportional to each other, then the volume needs to be constant. So the equation is clearly visible to all of you on the screen, that pressure is directly proportional to set temperature. So when you remove the sign of proportionality, then a constant K comes. So the equation is P is equal to K multiplied by T. And when you divide the temperature by pressure, so the equation will be pressure divided by temperature is equal to K. So it means that the ratio of pressure to temperature is equal to constant. Students, when we are supposed to explain this relationship, pressure temperature relationship, on the basis of kinetic model of matter, so at higher temperature, the molecules, the gaseous molecules have higher kinetic energy, or in other words, we can say that the molecular motion of the gaseous particles are higher at higher temperature, or the gaseous particles are moving at higher speeds. And when the gaseous particles are moving with higher or greater speeds, then they make a frequent or forceful collision with one another and with the wall of the container or cylinder. So it means that when they make a forceful or frequent or vigorous collision with one another and with the wall of the container, then the pressure inside the container or cylinder increases. So there is a direct relation between pressure and temperature. As the temperature increases, pressure also increases, because the molecules are moving at greater speeds, and then they make collision with one another and with the wall of the container, and inside the container or cylinder there is an increase in the pressure. So or when the temperature decreases, then the molecule starts, then the speed of the molecules decreases, and the frequency of frequent or forceful collision also decreases. which in turn decreases the pressure. So there is a direct relation between pressure and temperature. As the temperature increases, pressure also increases. As the temperature decreases, pressure also decreases. So beta, there is a direct relation between pressure and temperature. So when you are supposed to draw the graph between pressure and temperature, so temperature is an independent quantity, so we place temperature at x-axis and pressure is dependent quantity which depends upon the temperature. So we put pressure on the y-axis, and when we plot a graph between pressure and temperature, then there is a straight line between pressure and temperature. But remember one thing, that when the temperature is 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin, which is equal to 0 degree centigrade, so at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin, there is some pressure present inside the cylinder. That's why we are not supposed to start the graph from 0. We are supposed to start the graph or draw a straight line from any point on the y-axis, which shows that at 0 degree centigrade or at 273 Kelvin temperature, there is some pressure present inside the cylinder or container. And when the temperature starts to increase from 0 to any value, then pressure also increases, because inside the container, the molecules starts to move at greater speeds and make a frequent collision with one another and with the wall of the container, and which in turn increases the pressure inside the container or cylinder. So from the above discussion, we can conclude the equation, which is P1 upon T1 is equal to P2 upon T2. In this equation, P1 is the initial pressure, P2 is the final pressure, T1 is the initial temperature, and T2 is the final temperature. Now students, the next relation is between volume and temperature, and the volume is directly proportional to the temperature. So we need to keep the pressure constant. So the statement for this law is, for a fixed mass or for a given mass of a gas, the volume of a gas is directly proportional to the temperature of the gas if pressure of the gas remains constant. So on the screen there is an equation which is visible to all of you. V is directly proportional to temperature, and when you remove the sign of proportionality, there is a constant K. So V is equal to KT, and when you divide the temperature by volume, then the equation will be volume divided by temperature is equal to constant. And when we are supposed to explain this relation by using kinetic model of matter, then the explanation is that at higher temperature, the molecules have greater kinetic energy, or the molecules are moving with greater speed, which means that the molecules starts to move or to move far away from each other, because the gas inside the cylinder at higher temperature starts to expand. And when the gas starts to expand, or the molecules at higher temperature have higher speed, and with higher speed they starts to move far apart from each other. So we can say that there is an increase in volume, there is an increase of volume inside the cylinder. देखिए, जब मॉलिक्यूल्स की स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा हो गई और सिलेंडर के अंदर टेम्परेचर बढ़ने की वजह से मॉलिक्यूल की काइनेटिक एनर्जी बढ़ रही है, और काइनेटिक एनर्जीज इंक्रीज होने के साथ साथ मॉलिक्यूलर मोशन इंक्रीज हो रहा है और मॉलिक्यूल्स एक दूसरे से दूर जा रहे हैं. सो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि व्हेन द मॉलिक्यूल्स आर मूविंग far from each other, it means that the gas present inside the cylinder or container is expanding, or the volume inside the cylinder increases. So there is a direct relation between volume of a gas and temperature of a gas. And when you are supposed to cool a gas, aap cool kar rahe hain kisi gas ko, it means that the energy is drawing out from the container or cylinder, or the molecules or the kinetic energy of the molecules starts to decrease, which means that the molecules starts to the velocity of the or the speed of the molecules also starts to decrease, and the molecules starts to come closer to each other, and the gases molecules become gas, and the gas present inside the cylinder starts to contract. क्योंकि देखिए मॉलिक्यूल्स के दरमियान में स्पेस कम होने लग जाएगा, मॉलिक्यूल्स एक दूसरे के करीब आने लग जाएंगे गैस के मॉलिक्यूल. और ये सब होगा कब? जब गैस का टेम्परेचर आप क्या कर रहे होंगे? डिक्रीज कर रहे होंगे. व्हेन यू आर कूलिंग अ गैस, सो यू आर डिक्रीजिंग द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द गैस. तो जो काइनेटिक एनर्जी होगी गैसेस की, वो काइनेटिक एनर्जी क्या हो रही है स्टूडेंट, गैसेस की डिक्रीज हो रही है काइनेटिक एनर्जी। और जब गैसेस की काइनेटिक एनर्जी डिक्रीज हो रही है तो गैसेस की स्पीड भी कम हो रही है, गैसेस मॉलिक्यूल्स के मूव करने की स्पीड भी कम हो रही है। और जब गैसेस मॉलिक्यूल्स के करने की स्पीड कम हो रही है स्टूडेंट्स, तो स्पीड कम होने के साथ साथ गैसेस के मॉलिक्यूल एक दूसरे के करीब आ रहे हैं, स्लो डाउन हो रहे हैं ना, तो स्लो डाउन होने की वजह से फोर्सेस बढ़ रही हैं और वो एक दूसरे के करीब आ रहे हैं। और जब वो एक दूसरे के करीब आ रहे हैं तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि वॉल्यूम जो है वो क्या हो रहा है, डिक्रीज हो रहा है। सो when the temperature decreases, volume also decreases, and when the temperature increases, volume also increases, because there is a direct relation between volume and temperature. So from the above discussion we can conclude an equation which is V1 divided by T1 is equal to V2 divided by T2. In this equation, V1 is the initial volume, V2 is the final volume, T1 is the initial temperature, T2 is the final temperature. And when we are supposed to draw the graph between volume and temperature, then the graph is a straight line between volume and temperature. And on x-axis we place temperature because temperature is an independent quantity, and on y-axis we place volume, which is dependent quantity or dependent upon the temperature. And when we plot a graph, so the graph is a straight line, and the graph starts from any point on the vertical axis. We are not supposed to draw or start a graph from zero, because at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin there is some space occupied by gas. That so at 0 degree centigrade or 273 Kelvin the volume is not zero. भाई जब टेम्परेचर 0 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड या 273 केल्विन होगा ना, तो उस वक्त भी तो कंटेनर में गैस मौजूद है, गैस कोई ना कोई स्पेस ऑक्युपाई कर रही है, इसका मतलब वॉल्यूम तो है ना गैस का मौजूद। तो इसीलिए हम क्या करते हैं, ग्राफ को जीरो से शुरू नहीं कर रहे, हम ग्राफ को वर्टिकल एक्सिस यानी वॉल्यूम एक्सिस पर किसी भी पॉइंट से स्ट्रेट लाइन बनाएंगे जो इंक्लाइंड क्या कर रही होगी, अपवर्ड मूव कर रही होगी, जो कि शो कर रही होगी कि वॉल्यूम और टेम्परेचर के बीच में डायरेक्ट रिलेशन है। So students, there is an example which we need to discuss. In this example, there is a figure which is showing a stationary frictionless gas tight piston P in the cylinder C, which contains gas. The pressure of the gas inside the cylinder is 1.0 exponential 5 Pascal. In part A, use the kinetic molecular model of matter to explain why the pressure on P is equal to that on the end E of the cylinder. So better remember this thing that the pressure depends upon the collision, upon the number of collision of number of molecules collide with the wall of the cylinder. So so the examiner tells you that the pressure at P and E is equal to each other and ask a reason from you. So better the reason is that equal number of molecules collide the surface P and E. तो भाई इक्वल नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल जो है वो सरफेस पी और सरफेस ई को कोलाइड कर रहे हैं, एंड द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ कोलिजन at surface P and at surface E is same. That's why the pressure at surface P and at surface E are equal to each other. So this is the reason. In part B, while keeping the temperature constant, the piston is now moved to the left. Piston move कर गया left की तरफ, such that the volume of the gas is reduced by 1/10. यानी वॉल्यूम जो है गैस का वो रिड्यूस हो गया 1/10, क्योंकि पिस्टन लेफ्ट की तरफ मूव किया है ना, यानी सिलेंडर के इनसाइड पिस्टन मूव कर गया। सो कह रहा है फाइनल प्रेशर कैलकुलेट करें। अब बेटा आपने जो बात याद रखनी है वो क्या याद रखनी है, देखें आपने इक्वेशन लिखी P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. The initial volume pressure is given to you, which is 1.0 exponential 5, and the volume is V1, which is the initial volume. फाइनल वॉल्यूम क्या है कि वॉल्यूम 1/10 रिड्यूस हुआ, इसका मतलब जो वॉल्यूम है वो 9 डिवाइडेड बाय 10 रह गया, यानी जब पिस्टन 1/10 मूव कर गया तो अब जो स्पेस बाकी है E और P के बीच में वो हो गई 9 डिवाइडेड बाय 10। सही है। तो आपने क्या किया स्टूडेंट्स, जो ओरिजिनल वॉल्यूम V1 है उसको उसका कह लें कि उसको मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया 9 डिवाइडेड बाय 10 से। सही है। तो आपकी कह लें कि जो आपका फाइनल वॉल्यूम है V2 वो आ गया 0.9 V1। अब V1 से V1 कैंसिल हो गया और 0.9 जो है वो नीचे आके डिवाइड हो गया 1.0 एक्सपोनेंशियल 5 से। तो आपका आंसर क्या आया फाइनल प्रेशर का, 1.11 एक्सपोनेंशियल 5 पास्कल्स। नाउ इन पार्ट सी, व्हाट हैपेंड व्हेन द गैस इज हीटेड। So beta, it is easy when you start to heat the gas, the kinetic energy of the gas particles increases, or the gas particles starts to move faster, and as they starts to move faster, so the frequency of frequent or vigorous collision with one another and with the wall of the cylinder increases, which in turns increases the pressure inside the cylinder. So beta ye reason hai. And the piston P starts to move towards the right because the gas present inside the cylinder starts to expand, or in other words we can say that due to increase in temperature inside the cylinder C, there is an increase in the motion of the gas particle, and as the motion of the gas particle increases, so there is an also increase in the frequent or vigorous collision, and the pressure inside the cylinder also increases, which pushes the piston towards the right side. यानी प्रेशर बढ़ने की वजह से पिस्टन जो है वो राइट साइड की तरफ क्या कर रहा है स्टूडेंट्स, मूव करना शुरू हो गया. सो आपने ये रीजंस लिखने. So students, thank you. This is all for today. Today we covered our chapter named kinetic model of matter, and inshallah in the tomorrow's class we will discuss a new topic, and I hope inshallah tomorrow we will cover our thermal physics portion. So thank you students for attending my lecture. Assalamu alaikum.